Ray's Sports and Slams is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
What's up? We're back. Ray Sports and Slams. Another Monday. More fire, more heat, nothing but fire. BoinkStudios.com is where you can find us for all the great podcast entertainment news. BoinkStudios.com. Follow us on all social media events. Before I get started, please like, share, and subscribe to BoinkStudios.com, Ray Sports and Slams. There are other shows on the podcast you can follow as well. Let me bring in my cohorts, the ultimate Wemby hater, Mack Garvin. What's up, brother?
What's going on, America? He keeps saying I'm a Wemby hater. I'm just I'm not a
Wemby hater. It's okay. All right.
But no, America, like, share, and subscribe to Boink
Like,
Studios.
share, and subscribe, brother. And also, the third member of the trifecta, the person who thinks that CJ McCollum is better than Trae Young, Walter Duncan. What's up, brother?
I did not say that. I'm lying. Stop spreading lies. What's up, America?
Yes. Good to see you, man. And likewise, be sure to follow the podcast on Boink Studios YouTube, where they'll find plenty of shows. We review everything basically from movies to music, video games, a lot more. We've got content from 2014, so there's no paywall behind us. Give us a follow and visit the website, please, boinkstudios.com. We have a special guest. He is the founder. He is the man. He is the myth. He is the legend. He is Tom Clark. What is up, sir?
What's up? So I don't get any kind of weird Tom hates something introduction. I'm upset. What happened?
I should have. I couldn't think of anything.
Here's Tom. He hates some stuff too. All right.
Should I take you off or bring you back? I could say something.
I hate plenty of stuff, so that's fine.
He's got a lot. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, dude. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having
me. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. I appreciate it, dude. We have a lot to talk about. Today was like the biggest football yard sale I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But before going to that, we're going into the big pay-per-view that's this Sunday, AEW Revolution, which is the hottest show that's pretty much on the map. It's loaded right now. We have a battle royal. We have Tony Storm facing Mina Shafir. We have Strickland, Brody King. We have El Idolo, Bandito, Don Callis family, Jet Speed. We have the tag belts, Young Bucks, and of course the main event for the world title, MJF versus Hangman Page, where if Hangman Page loses, he is not allowed to get a title shot ever again. Not ever. So it's a little weird. It's not like, hey, I beat you. If I beat you, I never face you again. He can never, ever fight for the title again, which I think is kind of weird, kind of unique. I'm a little perplexed how this is working, but we shall see. I'm going to start this off, and then I'm going to go to Mack, Walt, and then I will close it with our finisher, Mr. Clark. What match are you looking forward to the most, and do you see any titles changing? I will start first. The match I'm looking forward to the most is probably going to be Moxley and Takeshita, because I think it's going to be a barn burner. Those two fought before. It went the 20-minute time limit. I think there's definitely has to be a winner this time. And that's obviously one of the stipulations. I see Moxley dropping the belt. And I feel like it's Takeshita's time. He's going to turn face. And in terms of Hangman Page, I don't see any other way he walks out of there without the belt, because you're basically saying if he loses, he's never getting a title shot. So how does that work? Like, there was no weird stipulations where, well, this happens, that happens. He can never, ever fight for the title. So I can't think of it. I've been wrapping my brains about it. I just don't know how he does it. And also, I'm excited for Swerve. Me and Tom had this discussion off air. He's really healing out. I'm happy that he's adjusted to the quote-unquote heel persona. Beating up Brody King, who's probably like one of the top faces there, is great, because you don't want him to face or attack somebody that's kind of on the fence. You want somebody that everybody loves. Everybody loves Brody King. He gets over like that. So I thought that was great. All right, Mack, what you got? What do you think?
Well, you kind of stole my thunder a little here as far as with Moxley. I think you're absolutely insane. I think Moxley's going to win hands down. I mean, the guy's got the juice, energy. Listen, I mean, Takesh, I mean Takesh, Takesha. He's an interesting guy. You're right. It went 20 minutes last time. We don't have a champ. I mean, well, he retained the belt by default, but Moxley, man, like he's got the it thing. I mean, I appreciate the work that Tech is trying to do. I just think Moxley's going to be that. I'm looking forward to, brother, the trio challenge. Me personally. I mean, like, listen, you can call the Don Child's family what you want. I mean, right now, you know, I like the pink look.
Okay.
I mean, Kyle's got whatever you want to call that. He's got the swag, the attitude, you know. So I do love that as far as this competition goes. I mean, it's called the Don Callis family. I don't think they're all officially related, but that's what they're called themselves. So I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to that match. You know, I mean, it's rare. I mean, you see tag team all the time, but not 3-on-3 as far as for like any main event, you know. So I don't know. And you're right, Swerve. He's leaning in. That's a good word, leaning into the heel role. I like it. Like this past week, America, I don't know if y'all watched or not, comes out into the ring, you know, his manager distracts and comes in with these dog chains and starts pounding on this guy. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I like it. So I'm excited for the competition. But I'm looking forward to the ladies also, too. Like, let's not discount any of these ladies that's going to be competing this, obviously, championship as well. Keep in mind, you know, a couple things. You know, I mean, like Thunder Rosa, she's ready, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's time for a title change. Let's get it, you know? So, I don't know. Anyone else got any feedback? Please?
All right, Walter, what do you got? Same questions. What are you looking forward to the most? And do you see any titles changing hands?
So yes, I'm looking forward to the Battle Royal, the 21-man Battle Royal. I think it's going to be exciting. I think there are going to be a few belts that change hands in this, right? So I think that Hangman is not going to be one of them. I think MJF wins that.
Okay.
You know, I think that, you know, Statlander wins her match.
Okay.
I think that Takeshita wins his match.
What? Wow.
So you see if Takesha's getting the belt.
Yeah.
You have Statlander regaining the title.
Yep. And I think that in the trio match, we're going to see the belt change hands as well.
Wow. You heard it first, folks. You heard it.
Wow.
First.
Tom's the tiebreaker.
Tom's the tiebreaker. But you picked 3 title changes. All right, Tom.
Yeah.
What you got? Talk to me, brother.
It's going to be a great show. Number one, I still think they've got room for another match. We'll see if they add one after Wednesday. Kind of surprised the dogs aren't on there. Maybe the dogs against Orange and Darby, and maybe a third person, but we'll see how that plays out. I think Mox Takesh is going to be a banger. I think it'll probably be the match of the night. I do think that Takesh is winning the belt. I don't, you know, we talked for months on other podcasts and Tom Clark's Main Event, shameless plug, about Mox, you know, getting kicked out of Death Riders. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the ship has sailed. I think it just makes sense for Takeshi to get it back. But I can envision a situation in which Okada comes out and screws Takeshi over. Takeshi is this close to turning face. We saw hints of it this past Wednesday and on Collision as well, I believe. Mm-hmm. There's hints of him turning face, which is the next logical move. He's going to be I think a top baby face coming out of that group. I wouldn't be surprised if Okada did something to ruin his chances of getting that belt. I think it would make a lot of sense. I personally don't see the trios belts changing hands because Don Callis' family just got their hands on them, but I could be wrong. Jet Speed's a great team. I think Kevin Knight is awesome. I didn't much care for him getting pinned twice on the same show. Was not a fan of that. I mean, in one breath, you're telling us he's going to be somebody, then you pin him twice in the same show. Makes no sense to me. But if anybody's familiar with AEW out there, kids, you know that a lot of things they do make little to no sense sometimes. I think I'm just calling it like I see it. And I support the company. I watch them all the time. But sometimes booking decisions are out of left field. I think Andrade El Idolo and Bandito are going to put on a great match. I think both these guys have a lot of pride in themselves and in the sport, and I think they're going to bring it. I mean, Andrade's been doing the best work of his career next to his first run in NXT, and I would submit that maybe he's starting to eclipse that. So I think that they're going to absolutely bring it. I'm really looking forward to that. Toni Storm against Marina Shafir is going to be. I mean, anytime Tony's on the card, you know, she reminds you just how great she is. Be good to see her in singles action again. I'm not as high on FTR and the Bucks. I do think that both teams are going to bring everything they have, as they always do. But this feud's been going on for a long time. And you've got other teams there now. You got the Cows family. You can pair off in any two guys. The Rascals are there now. Private Party's back. I mean, I part of me is like, why are we still running back the Bucks and FTR? Much due respect to both guys, to both teams. But, at the same time, I just don't know if I see why we're running this back. I will say this. I think this should probably be it. If not for all time, let's don't run this back again for another year, because I think that would be plenty of time to give fans another taste of it. But I just don't know if you need it. In terms of the world title match, I mean, I don't like this scenario. I don't like the stip at all. It's the same crap they pulled with Cody when Cody was there. I believe it completely derailed Cody's career in that company, in my estimation, because his character's true blue, and they would never walk it back like it is now in the other company. It's true blue, no real shortcuts that I'm aware of that's going on over there anyway. But like, he's a white meat baby face I've ever seen one. And so for them to walk it back for Paige, I said this on the main event 2 weeks ago, when a baby face tells you something, he's got to deliver. If a heel tells you something and he doesn't deliver, it doesn't really matter. He's a heel.
Yeah,
Heels
he's
lose.
a heel.
They screw up. They screw around, and they can lie, cheat, and steal. If a babyface tells you something, he's got to deliver. And every time a babyface, especially one of your top faces, does not deliver on something he or she says, you're cutting them off at the knees, and they are losing credibility with the fans. So if this thing plays out and MJF wins, and I suspect MJF's keeping the belt, but if they play it that way, then they're going to have to eventually walk back the Hangman not getting a title shot. If they do that, it can't be by his hand, at least not storyline. It'll have to be by somebody else's hand. It'd have to be Hangman saying, look, I made it clear that I wasn't going to challenge you, and I didn't get the job done. And whether it's Khan or, I don't know, maybe Ospreay that comes back and says, look, mate, I know what they said, but you got to get back out there. You owe it to the fans. As long as you get the fans behind it, it won't matter. But if Hangman himself walks it back, that's a problem. Real quick, with Tekla and Statlander, I like Tekla a lot. However, that when she beat Stat, it came out of nowhere. There was little to no build up. I personally didn't feel it like I maybe wanted to. I'm happy for her, and I'm glad it's working out. She's freaking great. But at the same time, if they were to walk this back and give it to Statlander, I would not be surprised. I don't think it's going to happen, but that belt kind of got hot-potatoed for whatever reason. I'm not a real big fan of that, but it should be a good match. I'm looking forward to the show, man. I think, again, I wouldn't be surprised if coming out of Dynamite Wednesday night, we get another match thrown in. Would not be surprised at all.
All right. My other question to you guys is, we have a new member of this Dogs. Mr. Finley's back. David Finley from Japan. Big fan of New Japan. Tom put me on to New Japan. You guys have to watch it sometimes. It's the best $10 I spend every month. It's really, really good. David Finley's there now. This little crew is getting a little stronger now. With Gabe Kidd, you have Clark now. So this team is pretty much established. My two-part question is, do you see Finley at some point main eventing and being that guy? And my second point is, we both all have different opinions on this Hangman Page thing. If Page somehow does not win this belt, who do you think is the next guy that's going to push for that title? I'm going to say Will Ospreay. I think he's going to come back pretty soon. I think he's getting healthier and healthier. He's the only guy I think that's that hot of a face that could get over and be the champion and people will accept him. I think Darby had his window. I think they closed it for some stupid reason. I don't know why. I like Darby Allin, but I feel like I said, it's I think it's Will's to get if Paige doesn't get it. So, Walt, I'll let you go first. Tom, you go second. Matt can close it.
Sure.
I think Finley can be the guy. I think they may want to see some more from him. Some prove it. I mean, maybe he's proven it already, but like I think he can, carry it, or whatever. And as far as Paige is concerned, whoever wins that match, I think it all depends on how the storyline plays, right? Mm-hmm. Like I could see Ospreay. You make a lot of sense with that. But you never know what they're going to do, what surprise they're going to pull out. Because Tom spoke to her earlier, like you have no idea what AEW is going to do, right? You know, they're always doing something silly. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know that's not the good answer, but I don't know, man.
All right, Tom, ball is yours.
I think Ospreay's the next guy. I do not think it'll be Page. However, been wrong before. I think Ospreay's the next guy. To JP's point in the comments, they are running vignettes right now, so it makes a lot of sense. They're teasing his comeback. They've just not told you when. I think it'll be Wembley in England this August, and I think he wins the belt that night. Could be wrong. As far as the dogs, kids, to give you some color out there, if you're not aware of who these guys are, Bullet Club, War Dogs, and New Japan was the biggest faction, arguably, at the time. They really they push a faction called House of Torture. If you're a fan of New Japan, you are sick of House of Torture. It's a whole other podcast. But Bullet Club, War Dogs, the whole idea behind it was Finlay wanted to take the Bullet Club faction and young it up, and wanted some hungry guys. And his tagline was, bring me belts or bring me bodies. And it was awesome. And they called themselves the War Dogs. And it was Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors, of course. And, them back as a trios faction now, I always gauge how I feel about a performer, not necessarily to the action, which is important, of course. What are you doing in the time in between the moves? So you can tell a rookie or someone still learning from a vet, what's their body language in between hitting a move, trying a pin, and working the crowd. When Finlay, slipped in Wednesday and did what he did, I mean, Finlay's a star. And if I'd had no perception of him other than what I saw that night, confidence, swagger, the way he looked at people, star. So I would love to see AEW capitalize on this. He's got history. Fans know who he is, which is great. Especially those fans know who he is for sure. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens.
Correlation between the two with New Japan and AEW. So,
for sure. I mean, I absolutely believe that he could be a top guy, the top guy. But they're so top heavy, which I submit is not a bad thing, because certain other companies have two guys and that's all they do, right? I'm just saying WWE's been that way for years, but AEW's not like that. I mean, right now you could rattle off maybe 7 to 8 guys who could conceivably win the belt in a week, and you would never turn your nose up at it, because that's how heavy and thick that roster is, which I believe is a great thing. I think Finlay could absolutely be one of those guys if that's how he's booked. See if he gets over.
All right, Mac, I'll let you close the show. The show.
All right. I'm going to go. I like my man in pig, Fletch. I mean, Kyle, he's on the come up, man. I mean, he's with the faction right now, the family. But I got a dark horse for you. And this may seem a little prickly. How about Mark Briscoe?
Man, you'd be hard pressed to. You couldn't throw a.
Hear me out.
No. Hang on. Let me clarify. You couldn't throw a rock and hit a bigger fan of Briscoe than me. But we've been down this road before with I'm a firm believer that dude could be the world champion. But that company, I don't know why they're just not. But I don't want to steal your thunder.
I agree with you with Fletcher, though. I do like the Fletcher prediction.
I love Fletcher as world champion, for sure.
Let's think of it this way here. All right. Briscoe's real last major match. I mean, unfortunately, he lost back in January to the TNT Championship to Tom. Tom Ciampa, America. He has been this underdog, and you're right, Tom. What happened to him is unfortunate, and I see what you're saying about Mark. He had some things that's gone wrong, but I'm just saying, if we're looking for a next kind of guy, you're right. Kyle looks like Mr. Pink Panther. That's what I'm gonna start calling him, Pink Panther. Until he differs. I love the dude's attitude. I love his attitude. But I think Mark Briscoe, I think he got a Raw deal back in January with the AEW TNT Championship, and it just went sideways since then. He's got the mountain man, burly Rob, and I don't know. I don't know if AEW wants that as an image, but does he have the ability? I just think him as a dark horse kind of guy. Like, could he make an appearance at Revolution, upset the apple cart? You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's not under contract with him, so there is a possibility. But and you're right, Tom. Okay, what do you think about him, Tom? Like, you're saying you're a big fan of. Why do you think he may not get a shot?
I just don't think they've proven that they want to do that for him. They gave him the Ring of Honor World Championship. He kept it for a month, month and a half. He dropped it to Jericho and never sniffed it again. And like,
I see what you're saying.
The one thing Mark has that a lot of guys don't is connection. He's one of those dudes that can hit the ramp, and you're right. He doesn't look like a star, but buddy, that crowd loves him. And they connect to him on a level that is usually reserved for guys like Dusty Rhodes and Steve Austin. I mean, I'm telling you, Mark has that connection because he's genuine. It's not an act. What you see is him being loud. It's the same when he spoke at his brother's funeral, same voice, same everything. He's the actual dude. And people know that, fans know that. And he's got such a connection. I would love to see him with that championship. But he has been way hotter than he is right now, and they wouldn't pull a trigger. So fingers crossed one day.
Okay.
All right. We're going to switch gears to the NFL. But before we go into the NFL, let me say a quick goodbye to Tom, because I know he has things to do, places to be. He's important. He's not commoners like us. So Tom, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, brother, for your insight.
Plug your shows, bro, and say your goodbyes.
Well, first of all, guys, thanks so much for having me. Second, I don't have a lot of places to be, and I'm never going to be that important. But Boink Studios Kids is where you're going to find Ray's Sports and Slams. You're also going to find Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, Bear Mode, a podcast review of the Bear. You'll also find Bachman's Basement and the Patton Report. We put out podcasts Monday through Saturday. No rest for the wicked. I don't need it anyway. Nothing's behind a paywall, as Ray said earlier. Content since 2014. Pro wrestling, sports, as you guys know, books, movies, streamers, video games, you name it, we do it. And 6 different podcasts to choose from. And thanks again, guys, for having me on. I appreciate it very much.
It was a pleasure, dude. We'll have to have you back when we do another AEW preview, or maybe when after this pay-per-view, maybe you could come back.
Works for me.
We could do it. Next week when we could do the pay-per-view recap, what we thought of it. That sounds
Let's
good.
look it up.
All right, brother. Thank you so much, my friend. Tom Clark, let's give him an applause. He is the man. He's the vision. He is the reason behind me doing what I do. So I'm going to give him an applause. Thank you. I will see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready to talk some football? Because, boy, today, and we have a whole lot of it. So
a lot of gems.
All right. Kyle Murray. Yes, Kyle Murray is gone. He's left Arizona. He is bye like NSYNC. He's been the quarterback for quite a while. And as of today, he is no longer with the Arizona Cardinals. The move becomes official as of today. We'll owe him $36.8 million in guaranteed money for 2026, but not the release. The release basically saves them an additional 19 for 2026. After being drafted overall in 2019, first, he's number 1 draft pick. He's had 2 Pro Bowl nods, but struggled with injuries. He's basically had a 38-48-1 record. And basically it's a wrap. Teams that are interested are pretty much the Dolphins, Browns, Vikings. What do you think of this? And where do you see Kyler Murray going in the future? Mack, I will let you kick this off. I know you have a lot to say about this guy.
No problem. So America, 100%. Kyler Murray, I remember he got drafted. You know, it's one of them deals where he's not tall enough. He can't see over the line. Well, there's a reason why. And then we had another guy called Tua Tagovailoa also too, who's not tall, can't see over the line. I think his best shot, would be with the Vikings if they take the opportunity for him. That's been the biggest buzz right now as of 3:00 this afternoon as one of the top teams that's really putting a bid in for him. Now, we all know the circumstances going on with the Vikings right now. They bet on the other kid. He didn't do anything for him. They let Daniel Jones walk, as well as the quarterback who won the Super Bowl for the Seattle Seahawks. You know, so my thing is this. I think the GM at the time was like, you let these two guys walk. And that's why they fired their GM. Like, we need to make better choices. So it's unfortunate right now, that the kid that they drafted last year, I think they took him with a number one pick. Yeah, I think it was two seasons ago. So now I think Kyler Murray is going to be the best opportunity. There's rumors about Kirk Cousins as well. It's unfortunate what's going on with Atlanta. Penix Jr., he is the presumed starter. So the concern is going to be now, like, what are you guys going to do? They paid a lot of dough to have Kirk Cousins on their roster. Everyone thought because they paid him, I think it was a 5-year, over $100+ million deal. And then they drafted Penix. Like, what is going on? You guys just paid for him, but now you just drafted a QB. But we saw what happened this past season. So I'm going with Kyler Murray to the Vikings because they need him. They cannot mess this up. Their GM right now is in the hot seat. Don't mess it up.
All right, Walt, I hear you thinking. I know you're going to bring the thunder. What you got?
So, look, I think that Kyler, he's kind of been middle of the pack when he was in Arizona. He's made some dynamic plays, exciting plays with his legs, and everything. He's a smaller quarterback, but he was pretty dynamic in what he offered, right? Especially when healthy, right? We've seen him, light teams up, from a multiple skill set, right, that he has. So as far as where he goes, I could definitely see the Minnesota Vikings. They have, Justin Jefferson there. Everybody wants to play with Justin. He's arguably the best receiver in the league, between him and Chase, right? So like CeeDee Lamb.
I agree. CeeDee Lamb is the one receiver. I agree. All right, go on. I'm sorry.
I like Kyler to the Minnesota Vikings, but I also think there might be another team that in the AFC that might be a good fit for him. And this may surprise you as always, but Aaron Rodgers has not confirmed that he's playing this year. And the Steelers just traded for Pittman from the Colts.
Yes, they did. The wide receiver, right? Yeah.
So that would be a hell of a tandem, Metcalf, Pittman, and you put Kyler Murray on the Steelers. Let's see what you can do.
You know what? I am not mad at that at all.
Wow.
Well, I am not mad even a little. I will say Kyler Murray's been a solid quarterback. Unfortunately, Kyler Murray's 4'7", so he's got an issue throwing over the line. So that's his biggest problem. These short quarterbacks just something that can't. Doug Flutie was the last one that kind of got it done a little, but did he really?
Yeah.
So I think Kyler should go to a team like Pittsburgh. I think believe it or not, I think that's his best bet. I think he's probably going to go to Minnesota, unfortunately, because they're desperate. And the guy that painted your wall yesterday is the quarterback from Minnesota. So I think this is an upgrade. So he's unfortunately think he's going to go to Minnesota. He should go to Pittsburgh because Mr. Ayahuasca hasn't made a decision yet. And you know what?
He's doing,
While you're waiting for him to make a decision, I'm not waiting for it. Let's go to some comments. Let us go to some people who have opinions and what they got to say. We have Jeff Peters. Jeff, thank you so much for watching. I can see Mark Briscoe, the TNT champion, back, but I couldn't see him put in the world title. Yeah, we had this conversation. I agree as well. Sugar Shane. Shane Odom, what's up, sir? Signed with the Dolphins. Tua signed with the Falcons. Yeah, that is true.
He did.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
Signed with the Falcons?
Yes.
What?
Steve Harley, yes. He agrees with both of us. Kyler Murray would be a good fit for the Steelers. He needs to boost their pass. I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, Maurice is here. Aaron will be playing for the Dark Retreat Vikings.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I love it.
I love that, man.
I love that. That's comment of the day. Right now, you know what? You get an applause for that. I love that. That's hysterical. All right. More football news. Matt Crosby is bye as well. Max Crosby.
Yes, he has.
Raiders agreed to a trade to friend the All-Pro defensive pass rushing king. The Raiders received 2 first-round draft picks in exchange for the 3-time Pro Bowl, according to NFL Network insiders. The trade would not be officially finalized until today, which is now obviously official. So they get a 2026 first round, a 2027 first round, and they basically are stacked with picks. I think this is great for the Raiders. They're basically rebuilding this team, so I am for this. I think that the Ravens didn't need this person. They need secondary because right now, the guy that delivers my mail and the guy that collects my trash are your two corners. So I don't know what this is going to do for you. This is a great pass rusher. I love Max Crosby. I just don't know what this is going to do for the Ravens. You know, the problem that you had, it's like, well, you have a bad PC and a bad iPhone. I say, okay, I'm going to give you a brand new iPhone, but now I need your PC to replace my iPhone. You say, okay, all right, now you're still stuck with a bad phone. Like, one problem doesn't solve the other. Like, I didn't think they needed a defensive pass rusher. They needed corners. They needed a safety. I don't know what this is going to do for them, but it is what it is. I'm going to let you kick this off, Walt. What do you think of this trade? Do you think this is a plus or a minus for either team? Who wins and loses in this one? Go ahead, sir.
I think it's a win-win for both, right? I think the Raiders got some draft capital. They picked up some good picks from this trade. And I think that the Ravens are going to be a little bit better, right? Because, you know, I can't name anyone that was pass rushing for them last year. No hate, no shade those guys or whatever. But I think Max Crosby can definitely impact the game for you, right? And if he gets a good rush, you know, if he gets doubles, it'll free up some other people on their defensive line. And if you bring pressure, then a quarterback or a team is more likely to make mistakes, right? So I think it's very impactful for both teams, right? I think now, will that solve everything that the Ravens have going on? No, I don't think so, right? I think they're, as far as at the beginning of last year's season, they were the 6th oldest team in the league, right? And so, like, the Ravens are pretty old, and so they you know, I don't know if, you know, they can get the job done, because we've seen a stacked Ravens team do somewhat well in the regular season, but get to the playoffs and kind of just fumble it, right? They fumble the ball and they don't get it done. So, yes, it moves the needle a little bit for them, but it doesn't solve everything.
Agree. All right, sir, Mr. Garvin, what do you got?
Okay, so full disclosure, I don't think it's a win-win for Max. Max Crosby, just like you said, Walt, is on a team now that, by all accounts, that's not their issue. It's protecting their quarterback. Like, you know, Max Crosby, his position is not designed for that. So I don't know necessarily how that's going to be 100% effective, because he's on the defense side of the ball. Like, okay, like, you know, but he's in a better situation as far as winning versus the Raiders. Now, the Raiders did acquire picks, but there's a reason why they're picking number 1, because they're not good at it. Like, you can get all the picks you want, brother, but there's a reason why you're picking number 1, because your team has not made good choices. You know, now, mind you, they haven't had number 1 pick since the last guy that they had at number 1 pick, and they picked their quarterback. His name was America's. Anyone remember the Raiders? Max Fax. Yes, Jamarcus Russell. And we saw how that turned out. A hot mess. Now, obviously, we know for a fact this coming year they're picking number 1. They're all going to we're going to make an assumption, America, that the number 1 consensus player that they're going to pick, as far as is going to be the quarterback, and we all know who he is, Mr. Mendoza. So we'll see after that. These picks that they have acquired, I don't think they're all there. I think one is first round, and I think the other is like a 5th and 7th, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. Maybe, you know what, Mr. Duncan can verify that. So, but I think overall, the Raiders are just in a situation where it just depends on what they're going to do with the picks, how they're going to address the issues with their team. Like, you know, you can have them, but, you know, and if you move into the best available, then that's not helping you either. So I don't know. I mean, Max, good for him. He's on a team that's contending. This past year, we saw what we saw. Yeah, you know, obviously Baltimore is going to be a lot better this year coming up. You know, I'm with Mr. Lamar Jackson. Hopefully he'll be back and better than ever. But yeah, you know, that's what I got to say right now, America. The Raiders, good for you, but it depends on what you do with the picks.
I can't agree with you more. All right, we're gonna switch. You know, the train keeps growing. Trent McDuffie, he is signed with the Los Angeles Rams. The The Rams have agreed to trade, I should say, for Kansas City's All-Pro corner Trent McDuffie.
Yeah.
Sending the 29th pick in 2026, a 2026 fifth-round pick, and a 2027 third-round pick to Kansas City. McDuffie is expected to sign a 4-year, $124 million extension with $100 million guaranteed.
Dollars.
This is a big, big, big move. I think this is great. I feel like this, is solidifying the Rams to get back to the Super Bowl. Trent is a beast. I think he's in his prime. He's young. He knows how to play the game. And you know what? This is making him one of the highest paid corners in the NFL. So kudos to him. I am pro this. I am for this. I think this is a win for them. Kansas City, you're getting some picks. You need some picks. And we shall see. Mack, what do you think of this? Are you for this, against this, and who wins in this one?
Okay, so now here's a good example of acquisition of a player. The Chiefs are addressing the issues that they have big concerns with in the offseason. He is a valued corner. I am surprised that the Rams let him go there because that's in their division. So my thing is this. Trent Duffy just went from a contending to a better contending team. Now, mind you, the Rams were knocking on the door last year. We all saw the playoff game. I texted both these gentlemen, said, "Are you watching this game?" And everyone's like, "Yes, we are." I'm like, this is an amazing game. It was back and forth until the end. And I think we all agreed also, if I'm not mistaken, whoever won that game was going to win the Super Bowl. So it was an amazing game to see. So what I will say to you, America, is this was an excellent pickup by Kansas City. I don't know how this is going to hurt the Rams. It is going to. However, they're still going to be contenders, so I'm happy for Kansas City. Absolutely 100%. I saw a tag in with Mahomes, like the muscle up, like, yeah, we need you. Yeah, let's go. So I'm hyped for him. So, yes, great, excellent move by them to execute to get him.
All right, Walt, what you got, brother?
So, look, I think obviously the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't keep everybody, right? They had a lot of money on the books. And so for them, I think that they wanted to get a haul, which they did, from the Rams for Trent, right? And so I think in this case, again, I think it's a win-win for both teams. They're both contending teams already. So you give the Chiefs, some picks, to help build the team around Mahomes and everything. And then Trent McDuffie, I think he was ranked the 4th best cornerback.
Yeah, he was
last year, third or fourth, right? He's in the top 3, right? Top 4, and I think that it's definitely a boost for their secondary. It's going to help them. If they had him this year, we may be saying that the Rams would have beat up on the Patriots in the Super Bowl, right? So as far as him being the highest paid corner in the league, he definitely. This is a record deal for him. He's the highest paid corner in the league right now.
Yes,
so
now he is.
Kudos to him. His tape and his work ethic speaks for him. So I think that it's a win-win for both sides in this case.
Okay. I'm going to say now the Rams are definitely arguably going to be the favorites to get this Super Bowl again, foregoing any injuries. Because you got a solidified beast corner. Because I think Trent is a beast. Other than Surtain, who Mack for some reason doesn't like. Other than Patrick Surtain, Trent is a beast corner. So I feel like the Rams are just gonna explode with this guy. All right, moving on. Mr. Tua Concussion Tagovailoa is now on the Atlanta Falcons. He is basically start of a new year and a new team with the NFL record $99 million in dead money, which I want Mr. Duncan to explain to our fans. Tua's release will be designated post June 1st, allowing the Dolphins to split the dead money over 2 years as we move forward.
Yeah.
And it's a new scenery. He's obviously signed with Atlanta. I'll let Walt kick this off first. First, explain what $99 million of quote unquote dead money means and how this affects the cap. How this affects his contract? Who's losing money in this deal? Who's receiving money in this deal? Because I'm not the math guy. You are our math guy. Please explain, sir, what's going on.
First of all, Tua as a Dolphin fan, I'm it's kind of bittersweet because I think we needed somebody better at the position than Tua. So I am appreciative that someone gave him a shot. It's a 1-year deal for him to sign in Atlanta right now. So I think it's like a prove it deal. I think he wants to prove it to himself, and Atlanta wants to see if he can prove it to them. But that's 2 left-handed quarterbacks on the same roster. So we'll see how that goes. You got Tua turn the ball over, and you have Penix, who hurt his other leg. So we'll see which guy takes that. As far as the dead money, right? So basically, the dead money means that someone is counting against the books, that shouldn't, even if they're no longer on the active roster, right? So in Tua's case, he's gonna cost us $99 million against the Dolphins books over the next 2 years. 60 plus this year, and then about 29 next year. So it's gonna be 39 next year, something like that. And so I'm proud of the Dolphins because they ripped off the Band-Aid. They were like, hey, this is gonna happen either way. We're gonna have to release them because I don't think anybody was gonna trade for Tua. And so they had to release them, and they just like, you know what, let's just rip it off. Let's take this, take our humble pie, let's eat it, and try to, use this new regime to, build ourselves back up. They've been cleaning house there too. So they traded Minka Fitzpatrick to the Jets as well. He's gone,
we'll get into
there's conversations about him, about Achane being traded as well. And I'm just like,
but let me ask you this: does that go against their cap now? This $99 million, the 60
absolutely,
and the 30. Absolutely. So this is a big financial hurt. Woo!
Yes,
man, this isn't a Band-Aid. This is like 5 or 6 stitches just ripped out of your skin. Woo! Ooh, it's rough. All right, Mac, what you got, brother?
Well, first, America, I want to give a full disclosure. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but Trent Duffy, I just realized, I'm like, what's wrong with you? He left Kansas City to go to the Rams, and I said the opposite. So, America, yeah, this is how my day's going. But here's what I will say. When our fan called in and said, Tua talking about the ATL, I'm like, shoot, that must have happened after the last time I looked. But you're right, it's a 1-year deal. Now, what does that say about Tua Tagovailoa, America? The fact that Miami said, we're going to eat this $100 million so you can go somewhere else. Why would Atlanta pick him up unless they're going to let Kirk Cousins go? There is no room for all 3 of these dudes to be in the same room. And then Kyle Penix Jr., damn, you guys just picked up. What does that say for the confidence for him? I understand it's a business, but how is Tua gonna help them? If it's a 1-year deal, is he all do they think he's going to be the starter? That's why I'm confused. This makes no business sense. I understand they really didn't pay to get him, but what does that say for the 2 men that's in the locker room? Especially Kirk Cousins was a 4-year deal with Atlanta when they traded to get him. They paid him, But on the same token, let's keep in mind this also too. Unless Kirk,
I think Kirk's being released.
Gone. Yeah, and that's the speculation, but there's no guarantee of that at this point. He's still on the roster. I understand they probably are. It makes no sense for him to stay. But I'm just saying to myself, what does that do for Penix Jr.? What kind of confidence does that give him? I guess they're not concerned with his emotions or how he feels. You know what I mean? So, but I'm just thinking you're bringing Tua over for a 1-year deal. I know you paid next to nothing to get him, but there are other teams that could have also used him also too. I just don't understand how they let him walk. They let him go for a reason, and that's my thing. You owe him 99, and we're willing to cut ties with him. Now they don't have a starting quarterback, so the Dolphins are going to try and acquire someone. They're not getting Mendoza, so why would you let him when you're still on the books for him? So I don't know. This is a very odd situation.
I see you hemming at it. What you want to say?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Will. Go ahead. Mr. Dunkin' Donuts, go.
We got Malik Willis.
They did?
Malik Willis signed with the Dolphins. He was the I think the hottest commodity as far as QB free agents out there. So we'll see. He did good with
Or
Green Bay.
Kyler Murray.
He looked good. So
I think
all
right. Hey man,
I think Tua he's had too many concussions. People are afraid. He's had what,
Mm-hmm.
5,
Yeah.
6? He's had a lot. And the NFL,
Who knows?
So I think they just said, you know what, let's eat this $99 million because, dude, one more hip to this guy. Obviously, you knock wood. I hope nothing bad ever happens to the man. But, dude, one more, dude, this guy's in a lot of trouble. So I understand it. But to Mack's point, who's your quarterback? I don't know. Shane says the Falcons released Cousins. Okay, so that just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, he's gone. All right.
And Jeff Peters, Gardner Minshew has signed a 1-year deal with the Cardinals. Gardner Minshew, God bless you. All right, we're moving on. The train keeps going. Mr. Fitzpatrick has become a JETS. He was traded from the Dolphins for a 2026 7th-round pick and signed a 3-year deal worth $40 million. I am happy for him. He's on a team that will utilize him, but will go absolutely nowhere. So he's basically left, I would say, cow poo to maybe expensive dog poo. It's not a good move. I understand the money's there, but where are the Jets going? Let's keep it a buck. The JETS or MESS. I think this is a money move for them. I would have gotten more for him than a 7th-round pick, but it is what it is. All right, well, I'll let you kick this off. Who won this one? Well, we lost you.
Okay.
Well, you want to sign in and come back? All right, Mack, I guess
yeah, that's the screen. Okay, all right, no problem. You're right. You're right. JETS YYY. You're right. This was 100% money grab, bro. 100%. There's no other way to it's not even sugarcoat. I mean, the Dolphins let him go, but this is one of these situations where this is 100% financial. He's on, I think this is his 2nd contract, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, and this is the one where most players from going from their 1st or 2nd, you either prove your worth with a team, and that's why you want to demand a higher salary as far as dollars. So I love the fact that he's getting paid, but that's all he's going to be is paid, and that's it. Like they have a struggle with culture. I'm surprised their coach even survived staying on as a head coach. I mean, there's just so many problems with this team. And it's kind of like the Raiders as well. Like, what direction are you trying to define? You're right. They need him for someone to buy a ticket, bro.
All right. Well, we lost you for a minute. What do you think of this?
I think it's, I think the defense for the Jets are trying to, shore up some things, because they did stink it up last year. They got rid of Sauce Gardner. They traded him to the Colts last year. So I think they're bringing in Minka to have that veteran presence there. It's a young team. I think it's somewhat inexperienced team. Hopefully they got some good defensive coaches, there to utilize these pieces that they have. I think it's good for Minka. He got another contract. I don't think the Dolphins are going to pay him anyway. The Dolphins are just cleaning house. They let go of Chubb. They let go of a bunch of other people as well that have been picked up or going to be picked up. So I think it's good for the Jets. Good for Minka, and the Dolphins are just they're sinking ship. They're trying to do a reclamation project right now.
Oh my God! All right, big news. Kenneth Walker is now part of the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, the Super Bowl MVP running back is reportedly signing with the Kansas City Chiefs in free agency. The 25-year-old joins the Chiefs to boost their backfield. Reports are the contract is going to be between $10 and $20 million. He did not receive a franchise check from Seattle, which I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this is a big win for Kansas City. I think Kenneth Walker is an underrated running back. I'm very surprised they didn't franchise tag him. I don't know what that's about. This guy was your Super Bowl MVP. So this could end up biting them in the butt at the end, but it is what it is. Since we lost you the last round, Walt, I'm going to let you start it up this time. Okay. Who won this one, and what do you think of this trade?
I think Kansas City, definitely edges this one out for me. I think the reason that Seattle let Kenneth Walker III go was because they have the other guy that got injured, the backup, who I think people thought that he was more explosive. When he went down before, and I forget his name escapes me right now, but when he came in for Kenneth Walker, I think last year when they had Geno Smith, he looked great. He looked great. He looked like the starter. So I think from that standpoint, I think that's why the Seattle Seahawks were like, we can let him walk because we have Kenneth Walker B over here already in the wings waiting. I think that Kenneth Walker is gonna definitely do wonders for the Kansas City Chiefs run game. I don't know what that means for Pacheco or Hunt. I know it could be running back by committee there, but one of those guys may be let go here. I don't know which one is going to impact, but we'll see, right?
Yeah.
He's dynamic. We saw him. He definitely earned the right to be in, the MVP of the Super Bowl. So big ups to Kansas City in this one. I don't know about the Seattle Seahawks. I do question it a lot because you let this workhorse go, and to me, he's the reason why they did so good in the Super Bowl because of Kenneth Walker, right? Because it was a defensive battle for a little bit, but Kenneth Walker had some big and timely runs that I think changed the game for them. Yep.
All right, Mack.
Absolutely. Well, fellas, the one thing I can say about this is called, parity in the NFL. We all make an assumption, think something's going to happen, and then something goes sideways. And Walt, you're 100%. He was the word we like to use way back when it was called bell cow, whatever that expression is from. I don't know why, but he was the workhorse for that Super Bowl, and it was obvious to see. And I was concerned that they were not going to give him the MVP. And so, of course, when they announced that he was, I'm like, thank you. That man absolutely deserved it. They ran him into the ground, but for a reason. Now, you're right. He's going to go into a running back room. And just like I just speculated about Kirk Cousins, but they released him. You're right. Someone's leaving. Like they can't keep everyone happy. There's only one ball. You know what I mean? And obviously, he is definitely going to be the focal point. We knew that was the issue last year for Kansas City. Kansas City definitely did not have a run game last year to help them. And so I do believe it is a great acquisition pickup for them. And they are paying him. Everyone thought it was crazy when Philadelphia was Saquon. But look what they did for this man. So he absolutely deserves his payday. He was on full display for America to see. And every team was like, man, do you think we got a shot? Andy, what do you think? Can we get this guy? Good try. What you do what you can to get him, and they got him. So I'm happy for him. Now, America, here's some Max facts that I want to share with you guys. There's only been a handful of players that have actually been the MVP of their Super Bowl, and then the following season get traded, which is insane, America, to think like, why? Just like we're all speculating. So Kenneth Walker is the next, and there's three others. Anyone have any idea? Chime in. I'll give you another one. Dexter Jackson. He was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and got moved to Arizona, so he got paid. I'm going to give you another one. Desmond Howard, a.k.a. the Heisman move guy. He actually did win the Heisman as well when he was with Green Bay, and the next season he got traded to the Raiders. So, America, I'm asking you all, take a look. Tell me the last. There's only one more player who was the Super Bowl MVP of their team when they won the chip and got moved to another team. So I'm going to challenge everyone to chime in to try and figure it out.
He says Terrell Davis.
No.
All right. He also said that the running back you're talking about is Zach.
Yes, Zach Charbonnet.
Oh, and Fernando is here. What's up, brother?
What up, man?
Steve says the Jets are going where they always go, nowhere.
Yep, that's right, Steve.
That's right. Steve, I agree with you 100%. You are a smart man. All right, big news in Dallas. Jalen Thompson is now part of them boys. That's right. The Cowboys have agreed to a 3-year, $36 million contract with the free agent safety, former of the Arizona Cardinals. They boosters their defense. The deal is for the 8-year veteran, which is basically solidifying their offense. I think this is a win for Dallas. They needed a safety because their defense was fresh, hot mess. Jalen Thompson is legit. He knows how to play the role. He knows that coaching system well. I am for this trade. Happy, joy for me. Mac, what you got?
Well, America, let's start off with the fact that if you aren't aware, our guy Ray Allday is a big Dallas fan. Full disclosure, he said them boys. Yeah, them boys are an interesting bunch of people over there.
But call us a spade now, dude.
Yeah, Jerry Jones, he loves the drama. I mean, Jalen Thompson. All right. I mean, I don't even know what to think of it anymore. They're talking about, okay, America, so remember last week, the kicker's name, when I had asked you guys about him wanting more money, and I was waiting for a reply, and I guarantee no one remembers who that dude was because it was last week. He was a kicker. Now, this guy, Jalen Thompson, this is a different story. I am surprised that Jerry Jones made a trade for him personally.
Okay, I'll respect that.
You know what I mean?
Because he's definitely not a scrub.
Yeah, he's not. I'm just surprised that they're going to make this decision now because last week the issue was to pay the kicker. Now it's Jalen Thompson coming over. So that means they're probably not going to pay the kicker this money that he wants. So because they just signed him.
Well, they just gave him a second round tender. FYI.
So
the kicker. That means So they gave him $6 million for a second-year tender. So if another team offers him 8, if Dallas doesn't match it, they have to give him a second-round pick for him.
Okay, so that's what the final.
Am I right, Walt? Is that how it works?
Yes, you are right. Yes, Dallas will get a second-round pick.
Okay, yep. All right. Okay, Ray, what's his name?
Brandon Aubrey.
Okay, just want to make sure you knew that.
All right.
All right.
Max, a Wemby hater. He's a Cowboy hater. All right, well, you're unbiased. No, what do you think of Jalen Thompson going to Dallas?
I think it'll help their defense. Out of 111 or 10 ranked safeties, he was number 22. Mm-hmm. So that that's pretty good to be in that.
Pretty good.
So he had a grade. I think he was graded around as far as pro football. He was 73. So I think that's another good grade as well. So he's going to do nothing but help the Dallas out. That's where they needed help at, right? It's their defense. You know what I'm saying? They let go of Diggs. He was a shell of himself last year, and you bring in Thompson, as a safety, and he's a ball hawk, and he definitely can tackle. I think he had almost 100 tackles last year, and so I think
97 to be exact. You're doing your data, bro. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's going to be nothing but good for the Cowboys, in my estimation. It should help their defense get a little bit better.
Yes. I will say this: Jalen Thompson, he was ranked 23rd. In safeties out of, you said, over 100 and change. He was a Pro Bowler, I think, 2 years ago. He's legit. Mm-hmm. Jalen Thompson is legit. I think that they needed that help. You needed a safety because, dude, that you could throw on that side of the field every day and on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. It was brutal. So you have to get somebody of quality. You have to get a top 25 safety to build this defense because right now you're dealing with silly putty and glue. So. And Steve Hawley says, yes, the deal with the Dallas kicker, he is the best, by the way. I agree with you very much. Very, very good. And Jeff says Larry Brown. Was he the guy, Mac, you're talking about?
Yes, that is the correct answer, Jeff. Larry Brown is the correct
Let's give him an applause. Jeffrey Peters on fire. All right. We are switching, and we're talking about the game that Mr. Walt loves more, basketball. And Jason Tatum is back.
Yes, baby.
Yeah. He is back. He is back with vengeance. Yes, he is back. The 6-time All-Star was pleased after scoring 6 of his 20 points in the fourth quarter in the 109-88 win over the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum looked like he's never been hurt.
Vintage.
I'm scared of Boston now. I said this last week on Race Receipts. Boston, I think they're going to win the East now. I mean, with Jalen, Tatum, Jalen Brown, those 3-point shooters, Boston is nasty, dude. I think Detroit still has a shot, but Boston just made this a lot more interesting. Walt, what do you think of Jason coming back, and what do you think of Boston's chances now?
It's definitely exciting for the NBA, right? Like you have one of your superstars come back just at the right time. It's gonna just cause more viewers to click in, right, and just look and watch the game. So definitely kudos to Jason. I was a little worried for him. I wasn't sure if he was going to be fully healed. Right now, it looks like he, like you said, Ray, it's like he hasn't missed any time, right? So he's looking great. I'm sure he's a little
20
rusty,
and 26 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know I'm sure he's a little winded and stuff like that. But once he gets back in playing shape, I think, the sky's the limit for the Boston Celtics. I think they definitely have a great shot. There's the big three in the East that I think are one of those teams are going to, barring any injuries, one of those teams are going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's either the Knicks, Detroit Pistons, or the Celtics. Everybody else, I think they're just there to, bring some entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So I think that
he said
yeah, I think that it's good for Boston. I think it helps their chances even more. I'm not ready to just crown them yet because I think the Knicks are really good and the Detroit Pistons are really good. And, and the Knicks won the mid-season championship for a reason.
Oh, here we go.
So we'll see.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Mac, I know you have a lot to say about this because you've turned into Mac Abdul-Jabbar. So go ahead.
Yeah, if Jalen Brunson keeps playing well, the Knicks got to kind of have a shot. But you know what? I'm just going to echo what Walt just said. It was great to see him. Of course, everyone was concerned if he went to the ground or if he did anything that seemed like everyone always, when he touched the ball, like he stopped up, post up, and drop a three. Is he okay? And I think that's going to have to go with his confidence. He has to feel confident or not hesitate. You put the work in. He came back ahead of schedule. Achilles, we all know, our season, almost a year recovery, 9 months to a year. So the fact of the concern of him, like, should I or should I not? And, we silenced all the haters. I shouldn't say the haters. Silence all the question marks in reference to his health. Should he be back or not? And you're right. If something would have happened, we would have been like, oh, see, this is why he should not. It would have been all of that. But the man played and the confidence is going to build. As long as he believes in himself, then he's going to be okay. And you're right. Now 100%. The championship was a concern. I mean, OKC is still rocking, mind you, and the Spurs. I mean, I'm indifferent to Wemby because of his size and because he looks like if you breathe on him too hard, he's going to fall over. The man looks like sticks standing up. I mean, but he plays well. I'm just concerned for his long-term ability. Can he sustain the way he's playing? And he's like 7'5". So that's the issue with Wemby that I have the concern about, America. So full disclosure. But the bottom line is the Celtics are back, baby. Beantown.
All right, let me ask you both this question. Was it an ACL or MCL that Tatum tore?
ACL.
All right, so how confident do you feel him coming back and finishing the season and playing into the playoffs? Because obviously they're the second seed right now as we speak. Could this be a kick in the pants and end up screwing this guy over and Boston over? Because, anything can happen, and maybe that he came back too soon. I'm assuming the doctors have done their due diligence and checked on him and made sure he was 100%. But my question to you, Walt, first, and to Mac, do you think that they are still going to time constrain him, or do you think at some point they're going to let him do 40 minutes and just say, the heck with it?
I think they're going to keep him on a time restriction for a little bit. It's only been 2 games that he's played in. He's been back. So yeah, definitely put him on a time restriction, ramp him up as we get closer to the playoffs. I think we have about another month of regular season games left. So, ramp him up, wrap up his time as we get to the playoffs. Look, the Boston Celtics were already the number 2 seed without Jason Tatum. So they were good enough to, maintain that spot and get that record. They have good pieces, and everything. And they picked up the center from Chicago, Vucevic, I think.
They did.
So I think, they have a good enough core team. So we'll see. I think that's the smart play here. I don't think you put too much stress on Jason Tatum's body ahead of time, right? He came back up before time. I'm sure he's superhuman in some way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or whatever. It might be the melanin. I don't know what it is, but he definitely, has he healed quick. So we'll see.
We'll see. All right, Mac.
So 100%. No. 100%. Minutes restriction. They're going to ramp him up. That's what they should do. I mean, but again, if all the doctors confirm it's 100% go, team doctors saying yes, he's got it, but just because of real active competitive play versus just scrimmage warm up, everyone's probably weren't 100% on him in practice, so we do know that. But you're right, I think the jitters and the concerns is gone now. It's just going to be how more minutes, and I think the idea is you're right, we were still a contending team anyway. However, I think the big push is going to be now with the regular games, he's just going to play more minutes, and when the playoffs clicks, 100% go. Like there'll be no reason. So that's, I think, what's going to happen as far as that dynamics for him.
All right. The last topic of the day. The Lake Show beat the brakes out of the Knicks 110-97. Why am I bringing this up, you ask? Very simple. And we've had this. We have raised receipts. Luka had 35. Austin Reeves had 25. And no LeBron. Facts. The Lakers are 11-6 with all three of them. 3-3 when it's just LeBron and AR. However, they are 9-2 when it's AR and Luka. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The team plays with more fluidity when it's Ozempa Luka and Hillbilly Kobe. They play with more guts. They play with more heart. I feel like Rui actually gets to play. I feel like he actually gets to touch the ball, and he's like, wow, I'm actually on the team, and I get to take some shots now. What does this say for the Lakers? Should they maybe, I know it sounds crazy, guys, so hear me out before you jump down my throat. Should they limit LeBron's minutes? Should they let him, because right now he's hurt, his foot hurts, his bunions hurt, whatever. Should they let him just rest? Because right now, what I saw last night was a playoff contending, legit threatening team. I think they're a different team when LeBron's there. I feel like they watch LeBron and they're in awe that, wow, this guy's 41. He still could do this. Wow, he can move this quick. He could shoot like that. And the rest of the players are just standing and watching rather than trying to get positioned, rather than trying to cut screens or trying to get open. They're all standing and watching. When he's not there, they're actually playing. Like I said, Rui Hachimura is looking like a beast. So I'll kick it to you, Mack, and then to Walt. What do you think about this victory, and what do you think about what raised receipts have said and what it means?
Well, I think you called it early in the season, as far as Ray, at least good 10 episodes back, where we had this conversation of when he went down the last time. You talked about how Austin Reeves is like the man, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's playing well. Look what happens. And then we had the conversation of, will LeBron fit into the rhythm of the game once he comes back, once he's healthy? And now we're facing this dilemma again. I shouldn't say dilemma, the concern of moving forward. Is Austin Reeves still going to be the main piece once he's gone? I think we all can agree, or maybe not, the fact that this could be a situation with, I really think it's a circumstance where next year he's not going to be there. I don't think he's going to be a Laker. I mean, like, we can say we want to say, now that'll be a whole topic in itself. And like, can we just take a look now, limit his restriction in minutes to see what we may look like next season? Are they going to make the playoffs? I think they have a chance to make the playoffs.
Right now they're the fourth seed, so they're to make the playoffs.
Yes, they're definitely in. So so the challenge is going to be, what's going to happen next, and then now with this minutes restriction, is this going to be the move that they will take a look and really say, can we still succeed without him? And I think the question is going to be yes, because they're going to have to, because he's not staying after the season. So I think right now Austin Reeves is going to be the man, and Ray definitely wants him to be the man, as we all know. So with him and Luka, you know what I mean? I think we're going to see something positive.
Ozempa, Luka, get it right.
Ozempa.
Okay. All right. Well, close this out. What do you think, and what are your thoughts?
Should they limit LeBron? Yeah, they should, because, if they want to win more games, they want to compete more, do what's best for them to give you a shot at competing. You're the number 4 seed, but will they do that because he's LeBron James? No, he's not. They're not going to do that. He's the king. He's not going to go for that. As long as he can play, he's going to want to be out there and play, no matter how that impacts the team, right? I know that's a selfish thing to say, but would you, if that was Kobe or that was Jordan, you wouldn't do that to them. So you're not going to do that to LeBron. But should they? That was the question. Should they? Yes, they should, because it gives them the best chance of competing and winning when you have those two young guns out there leading your squad.
100%. They look like a different team last. I don't know if you guys ever caught any part of the game, but you did. Did you see the chemistry and how they just looked just different? And do you agree with my thought process? Like when LeBron is on the court, it's more of an admiration thing. Like, wow, look at him. And it's like, dude, cut. You're open. Get a screen. Like, no one's doing anything. They're just standing and gawking. And that's the problem. Like, everybody's a big LeBron fan and they're admiring his work. And I give him all the credit in the world. And he's the greatest 41-year-old player I've ever seen in my life. However, it's basketball. It's a game. It's not, let me admire your work and just stand there and just admire you. Like, dude, you got to actually try to get open, like I said, and try to win. And I feel like when he's not there, they're a different team.
Yep. You
concur or no?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely concur with that. I think I spoke to that as well.
I know Mack has to go really quick. So Mack, let you say your goodbyes real quick, and then I'm going to finish this conversation with Walt.
Absolutely. No problem, America. Please like, share, and subscribe to Boink Studios. We will see y'all next week.
Later, my friend. All right, well, continue this conversation. What else were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No. I think, when you asked me earlier about this, absolutely. If it was up to me, and if I'm JJ Redick, or if I'm the decision maker, because I don't know if JJ Redick's really making the decisions, right?
Okay.
But I think that I would definitely want to put the team on the floor that gives us the best shot to win. Now, at the end of the day, the NBA is a business, and they want their superstars to play. LeBron James,
facts.
He may not be playing at superstar level, but by name and his past, he is a superstar, right? So you're going to put LeBron James on the floor and put seats and butts and get those sales, and they're coming to see LeBron James play anyway. Hopefully they can string something together and they get into this flow and they make a deep run in the playoffs. I would love to see the Lakers, with this as currently constructed, make a deep run with LeBron. I think it would be good for the game as well.
It would.
But we'll see.
All right. Final buzzer. You just ask us anything about anything. Bring your comments and we'll see what's there. Jeff Peter says 3 and 6 seeds are one game apart from each other in the Western Conference. Yes, you are right. But right now, as we said, the Lakers are the 4th seed. So I feel like I said, LeBron should come back when he's really, really good.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey says, let's send LeBron to wrestling school so he falls, he can grab the correct arm that he hurt. They get pulled after the game.
That's funny.
That's kind of funny. Steve says, yep, folks, they want him to play even for a few minutes. Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I feel like you got to give him a few minutes, but the flow of the game just flows different when he's not there. I'm just saying. And he says the Knicks have no heart. They made a huge mistake by dumping Tibbs. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, I think Tibbs was a great coach. He was great for the Knicks. They had a lot of toughness when he was there, so I think they made a mistake.
All right. And the last question before I let you go as well. Karl Malone or Charles Barkley? Woo!
Ooh, that's a tough one. Both don't have rings, but I guess just on gameplay, you got to give it to the mailman here. Charles Barkley was a beast too, but this is only, I'm splitting hairs here, I think Karl Malone was a beast.
I'm going to go Karl Malone too. I'm going to let you, I'm going to have to side with you. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate all the love and support. Walt, before I let you go, say your parting shots and where else we can find you.
Man, another great show. Thank you, listeners, viewers, for your support, your love. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, share, subscribe. And we want to hear from you. Continue to reach out to us. And thank you once again. Ray, thank you.
Thank you, brother. All right. That's another episode of Ray Sports and Slams in the books. We brought the thunder again. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the page. We have more content coming out. We'll be back next week. See you when I see you. And everybody, like I said, be good to know each other. And I would be remiss if I didn't wish my wife a very happy birthday. Her birthday's not till Wednesday, but I'm going to wish her a happy birthday anyway. Happy birthday, Mrs. All Day. God bless.